Good afternoon, Magnolites. Today is Monday. I am Mr. Loper, and this is Hey, What's Going On? Your weekly announcements coming at you from home today, peeps. So, let's get to it. Today's national holiday is Cyber Monday. This isn't actually technically much of a holiday, but it is the internet's answer to the craziness that is Black Friday. However, over time, the deals that have been popping up actually start showing up sometimes prior to even Thanksgiving itself. Sometimes it's as early as the beginning of last week, and sometimes it well extends into this week. So, the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all that stuff just kind of changes over time. Black Friday, fun fact, is actually named after a completely different Black Friday. So, in the 1800s, countries' wealth was actually determined by how much gold and then silver that they had. But we all kind of agreed one day, around the mid-1860s, that just wasn't going to be the way anymore. And so the stock market freaked out because wealth as we knew it totally changed. And so there was a big panic that day. Now skip ahead about 100 years, where crowds were crazy after Thanksgiving in the rush for the holiday season, and hey, a new Black Friday was born. Although it's much more tame by now standards, and because of the ongoing pandemic, this past Black Friday was even more chill than we normally see it. Birthdays. So, this week we celebrate 2 birthdays, that of our awesome business administrator, Mr. Gontowski, on December 3rd, and on December 6th, we celebrate the always lovely Mrs. Augustine. Upcoming important events, this Friday, December 4th, marks the end of trimester 1. May the grades be ever in your favor. Anyway, and now, music puns. So 1, what is Beethoven doing right this very minute? D, composing. What's a golf club's favorite type of music? Swing. And what was Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. But anyway, on to Mr. Carpenter and Mr. Sperling for Sports Corner. We're down Mr. Johnson today, but hey, don't worry about it. They'll tell you all about it. All right, see you in a few. Get out of here.
Hey, Magnolites, Mr. Carpenter here.
That's Mr. Sperling.
And this is our weekly Sports Corner update. So just to recap what happened last week in the NFL, Mr. Sperling and I both picked the Raiders to win, and they did not bounce back. They ended up losing. So I took that loss. We also have our one more pick pending tonight with the Monday night matchup with the Eagles are playing Seattle. Mr. Johnson and I both picked Seattle. Mr. Sperling sticking with the Eagles. He is a diehard Eagles fan. And actually, he picked them to win not only tonight, but you think they're going to win next week against Green Bay. So, wow, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. But with that said, let's just talk about our picks. So my picks this week, I'm sticking with Green Bay. I think Green Bay beats the Eagles next week. I'm going to continue to roll with the Kansas City Chiefs because they're awesome. I think they're probably going to win the Super Bowl this year. That's my pick. Miami, I think the Dolphins are going to win this week, and they've been doing pretty well. They're a pretty good team, better than I thought. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is also another contender for the Super Bowl. I think they got maybe the best chance maybe to give Kansas City a run for their money, kind of like what Tampa Bay did yesterday. So with that said, my picks this week are Green Bay, Kansas City, Miami, and Pittsburgh. And so far, my record is pending tonight's game. Right now, I am 29 wins, 8 losses, and 1 tie. Mr. Johnson is 1 game ahead of me. He's got 30 wins, 7 losses, and 1 tie. And Mr. Sperling's hanging in there, catching up. He's got 9 wins so far, pending tonight's game. Maybe he'll catch up, and if the Eagles upset, and then we would take another loss, and you start to catch up to us, and maybe be at double-digit wins there. So, Mr. Sperling, with that said, what are your picks this week?
First I have to hope that the Eagles could beat the Seahawks tonight, right? Yeah, tonight.
What they do.
So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be a pretty good game. I don't think that people are giving the Eagles enough credit. Seahawks have no defense, so maybe the Eagles could just score enough points and their defense could kind of hold them to like 20 points, and maybe they could just barely beat them. That's what I think could happen.
I'm pretty specific with that prediction.
Yeah, Seahawks offense is pretty overpowered though, so we'll see if they can stop them or slow them down.
All right, so Philadelphia is your first pick. What you got for your other picks?
So I have the Raiders. I think last week was just like an off week for them because like the Falcons aren't a very good team. I was really surprised that they beat them like that.
Yeah, we both got burned.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were surprised by that. So
yeah.
I think Raiders will be back.
Okay.
The Steelers, I think they're definitely going to win this week. I think they're a big Super Bowl contender too. That kind of came out of nowhere because last year they weren't like very average. And now like they're really good now. They have a great defense. And better Roethlisberger's back, so I kind of like revitalized their team. And then lastly, I have the Seahawks. Like I said, I think the Seahawks are a really good team. Their defense isn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
So if they could keep outscoring teams and just put up like 40 points every game, then I think they could win the Super Bowl.
All right, cool. Well, and unfortunately, Mr. Johnson couldn't be here today, so but he said he would send his picks later, so we'll just post them in our I'll just write them down and post them later. So hopefully he can get those to us soon. But for now, those are my picks, Mr. Sperling's picks. That's this week's Sports Corner. We will see you later.
And that was the gym team with their edition of Sports Corner. On to Miss Arkema with some smart looming. Go find out what that's about. See you in a few.
Greetings, Mustangs. It's Miss Arkema with an introduction to smart looming this week. We are going to be making a miniature winter hat. So what we're going to need for this activity is a cardboard tube from one of those highly desired rolls of toilet paper that we all have, some scissors, and some yarn. Okay, we're going to first begin by cutting several strips of yarn that are approximately 12 inches long. Hence my ruler. Do we have to measure specifically each individual piece that we cut? Absolutely not. This is just here for a guide. Okay, so we're just going to be cutting a whole bunch of pieces that are approximately 12 inches long. You're going to need about 25 to 30 of these guys. Okay, next up, we're going to take that cardboard tube and we're going to measure about a finger width up. Okay, if you want to make a line with your pencil to help you cut, you can. It's right about there. I'm going to take my scissors and I am going to simply cut across. Having some trouble, having some struggles. Okay, cut right along there, and we are going to be left with a ring. Okay, I'm going to take my cardboard tubing and put it aside in case I want to make some more snow hats later on. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a piece of our string, our yarn that we cut, our yarn, definitely not string, that would take forever. We're going to take it and we're going to fold it in half. Okay, in half like so. Now what we're going to do is take this piece of cardboard tubing and this loop and we're going to fish it underneath, okay, underneath. Pull it out, and then we're going to take these two pieces right here and we're going to loop them through that hole, okay? They are going to go through the hole. I'm going to grab them with my other finger and I'm going to pull them down like so. Okay, it should look like that. I'm going to keep going. It's a little time consuming. I'm going to take my next piece. I'm going to fold it in half. Okay, I'm going to put my loop underneath. Take these two pieces, put them through that hole. Then I'm going to take these two pieces and I'm going to pull down like so. Okay, I am going to keep going until I have yarn all the way around and I'm left with something that looks like this. Okay. Step number 2 in making our cap is we need to simply divide these sections into two, these pieces of yarn into two sections to make it a little easier. What we're going to do is just I'm going to twirl it lightly, and then I'm going to push it through underneath to the top. Okay, when it comes through, It's a little tricky. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Literally, noodles of spaghetti. All right, now for this side, I'm gonna twirl this and I am going to fish that through to the top. Twirl it, fish it through. I'm gonna grab it when I see it coming out. Here we go. Okay, so I inverted it. Okay, and I made a knot in the process. All right, so that is how you create the lip on your hat, right down there, right around here. This is the lip. Now we just need to kind of neaten it up a little bit, and you are going to take one more piece of yarn and lay it underneath like so. Okay, and I'm going to simply tie it, okay, to cinch it at the top. Right like that. I'm going to tie it one more time to knot it. Okay, now I'm going to just trim these pieces right here. And then I have to kind of just trim my tassel. My tassel right now is huge. It needs to come down a little bit. So I'm going to start to trim. Give it a little haircut up here. Trim the top part where my tassel goes. And if you happened to have a cotton ball handy, you can always take that, fluff it out a little tiny bit, and just kind of push it into the bottom of your hat, okay, to make it a little sturdier. Okay, and then feel free to add any decorations, personalize it, make it your own, and that is it. Hope you had fun. See you next week, folks.
And that was another fantastic activity from the ever wonderful Miss Arkema. So people, before we wrap up today and close out another episode of Hey, What's Going On, I wanted to take a second to tell you some inspiring things, because I'm so inspiring. You are a legend in the making. You are powerful and creative and smart and intelligent. Those are the same thing. You are wonderful. But most importantly, you are loved. And I hope you remember that. All right, folks, you have a week ahead of you. Make sure to make it a good one. I'll see you later.
Hey, yeah, yeah.